This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Jacure among 200 with criminal traces given gun license. The Firearm Licensing Authority has revealed that dancehall artist Jacure is among 200 people with criminal convictions or adverse traces who were granted firearm license between 2014 and 2017. Some of the gun permit applicants had convictions for murder, firearm offenses, and drug trafficking. They had all been previously denied license by the FLA board. According to CEO Shane Darling, one well-known don was given 4 gun permits, and a convict who returned to Jamaica after being extradited, tried, and sentenced in the United States was also given 4 gun permits. The FLA boss told a journalist at a press conference this morning at the AC Marriott Hotel in New Kingston that in all cases the reasons for the denial of the gun permit applications were on the files of the applicants. In Jacure's case, he said, the board denied the singer a license in June 2015 on the basis that he was not fit and proper shortly after he was released from prison. But 10 weeks later, the permit was signed and approved. Jacure, born Sikator Alcock, was convicted for rape and illegal possession of a firearm. What was curious was that the board was reversing decisions of the previous board. One board would deny the license on the basis that the person wasn't fit and proper, and although the new board has no new application before it or no new information, approved the person on a willy-nilly basis, said Darlene. He said eventually Jacure's gun license was revoked. PEP Performance Task Exam cancelled. The Ministry of Education is reporting that the administration of the Performance Task component of the Grade 6 Primary Exit Profile has been cancelled. The exam was scheduled for March 22 and 24, and the ability test, which was set for next week Tuesday on February 22, has been pushed back to March 24. However, the curriculum-based test will go ahead as scheduled on April 27 and 28. The Education Ministry indicated that it decided on the changes following a meeting with stakeholders last Friday. It said the emergency meeting was called against the background of concerns raised over the readiness of students to sit these exams. The ministry said a recent survey by its School Improvement and Operation Branch found that more than 70% of teachers who responded to the survey stated that students were not ready for the assessment, and 59% preferred a change in the date of the assessment. Some 314 persons participated in the survey. The survey found that the current cohort of students has been in and out of the physical school environment since the second term of grade 4, and that some students may not have full access to the curriculum in the remote environment. It was noted that this may have negatively affected the grasp of fundamental skills that are necessary for the application of the analytical thinking that is required to successfully do the ability test. Most, if not all, of the students are still trying to cope with the psychological demands of the pandemic whilst readjusting to the routine of in-person learning, the survey found. Accompong Chief Curry in breach of Firearms Act. Chief Executive Officer of the Firearm Licensing Authority, Shane Darling, has said that Richard Curry, Colonel of the Accompong Maroons in St. Elizabeth, has been found to be in breach of the nation's Firearms Act. Responding to questions from the news at an FLA press conference Tuesday morning at the AC Hotel in St. Andrew, Darling said that Curry was issued with 2 gun permits, which are now out of date. Based on my checks, Mr. Curry is in breach. His license is not up to date. He has not done the renewal process, and as such, the matter has been referred to the police for them to assist, Darling said. In August last year, the FLA said it would launch an investigation into an incident in which Curry was seen in a video which emerged on social media with what appeared to be a shotgun slung over his back during a confrontation with members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force in Beth Salem, St. Elizabeth. The cops had allegedly been in Beth Salem to chop down marijuana growing in the area, sparking outrage from residents. The Okompong chief had gone to the nearby district of Beth Salem to stand in solidarity with the people there. In the video, Curry was heard telling police to lower their weapons and leave the area, while residents beat drums and chased away the cops, who eventually left the community in a truck. Scotiabank denies duplicate deposit accounts. Scotiabank is denying a report that a Westmoreland man electronically transferred money to the wrong customer because there is a duplication of bank account numbers in its system. The man said he transferred more than $1.7 million from his National Commercial Bank account to the wrong Scotiabank customer because of a duplication in account numbers. There are no duplicate account numbers within our system, Public Affairs and Communications Manager Daniel Savory said in a statement. According to Savory, transfers require the correct deposit account number and the branch transit number. In this instance, the customer wrote the incorrect branch number on the form provided. In processing the transaction, his bank then inserted the corresponding transit number to the branch, he stated, said Savory in responding to questions from the news. The transaction was processed via real-time gross settlement, an interbank transfer system in which all transactions are sent using a numeric-based and a fully automated process. The system matches the account and the branch information stated on the request form. Scotiabank said it will willingly cooperate and collaborate with both third-party banks and law enforcement to ensure the best possible outcome for affected persons. Defendants chastised over yawning during cops' testimony. Chief Justice Brian Sykes this morning warned alleged members of the Klansmen Wandon gang to behave after one of the defendants made a loud yawn while a police witness was testifying. The judge, after hearing the sound, instructed 11 of the 18 defendants who are in courtroom 1 to stand and told them not to let it happen again, as there will be consequences next time. Don't let there be a repetition of this, he told the defendants before they took their seats. Earlier in the morning session, the judge accepted into evidence 3 transcripts of the secret recordings of conversations of alleged members of the gang. The 3 transcripts, which included a 174-page document, were transcribed by 2 police personnel with the help of the former top-tier gang member. The ex-member had the secretly recorded conversations he had with alleged members of the gang, including reputed leader Andre Blackman Bryan. The 3 transcripts were previously only marked for identity after efforts to have them entered into evidence were blocked by the defense. Sykes yesterday ruled that the recordings, which had also faced several roadblocks in being admitted, had met the legal requirement for admissibility. The former gangster turned state witness had testified that he had recorded the conversations using 3 cell phones and had handed them over to the police. In the meantime, Blackman's lead attorney, Lloyd McFarlane, objected to the 3 transcripts being admitted. He argued that the ex-gangster had testified that he had signed each document, but noted that the documents did not contain his signature. McFarlane contended that the documents were unreliable, but the judge shut down his argument, claiming it was of no moment at this point. That's an irrational argument. Who's the maker? The judge asked while making the point that the prosecution was using the creator of the document to push through the items, hence it was not necessary for the witness's signature to be present, as there was no law that supported his point. That can't even stand up to scrutiny. It makes no sense at all, the judge said of the lawyer's argument. McFarlane, however, insisted that there was merit in his argument. 5 Jamaican students returned to Ireland from Ukraine, said Johnson Smith. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says 5 Jamaican students studying in the Ukraine have returned to Jamaica amid fears of the Eastern European country being invaded by neighbors Russia. It comes after Portfolio Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith issued an advisory last week for students in the country to make arrangements to travel quickly if circumstances change. In several tweets on Tuesday, Johnson-Smith revealed that since that update, outside of the 5 students that have left Ukraine, 7 others have requested the ministry's assistance to leave 3 of whom have since reconsidered. Johnson Smith also shared that 2 of the universities housing the majority of the Jamaican students have since expressed that in light of the geopolitical tensions, they will offer online classes until April 1. The 3rd university, she revealed, is still hosting face-to-face classes, but is open to considering adjustments. The minister concluded her update on Tuesday by revealing hopes for a de-escalation of the Ukraine-Russia situation. We note there have been some signals of de-escalation and continue to hope for diplomatic solutions, she shared. The situation is, however, dynamic, so we will continue to monitor and share info, provide help, and encourage our #JS students to stay in touch and to continually assess their individual circumstances. Brace for more price increases, says MSME Alliance. The Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprise Alliance is advising consumers to brace for more price increases due to logistical issues caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The challenges have resulted in high cost of imports. Donovan Wignall, president of the alliance, says the decline in the value of the Jamaican dollar against the U.S. currency is further compounding the situation. Mr. Wignall believes the prices of international trade will come down eventually, but in the meantime, he suggested that increasing local production could help cushion the effects on consumers. The prices of international trade will be regulated by the forces of supply and demand. The good thing for Jamaica in that sense is that locally manufactured goods will now become more attractive in terms of prices, so what we need to do is to ramp up local production. The MSME Alliance president also proposed that the government provide more incentives to encourage local manufacturing. He believes this is a strategy that can help stabilize the Jamaican dollar. So, for examples, if traders who are doing big trades and buying a lot of US dollars that are not contributing to the manufacturing sector, you take those offline so they do not impact the movement of the dollar. Prioritize providing the US dollar at cheaper rates to people who are in productive businesses manufacturing, he put forward. There is an opportunity now for the government to incentivize people who are setting up manufacturing companies. It benefits the economy so much. You provide employment and you provide goods and services that are done locally, build the economy. We have somewhat taken advantage of it, but not enough, and I think the powers that be need to go a little further in incentivizing local production, and I think that with some other things we will see the price of commodities that we use on a regular basis go down. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.